Alrighty, I have not yet lost my voice, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's bring in David Kamien. So, David, welcome to the stream. Nice to meet you. Hello.
Hi, Kate.
How are you doing on this fine afternoon?
Good. I'm surprised you still have a voice.
I stole my kid's apple juice, so I have something to drink during the session. Then you guys are doing great by talking. It allows me to talk a little bit less. But why don't you tell us a little bit about Mind Alliance's systems, where you are the CEO?
Sure. Mind Alliance builds knowledge graph powered applications for law firms. Law firms are pretty late to the game. I would say a decade easily behind investment banks and hedge funds. So we're, I think, pioneering the application of knowledge graph technology in the law firm space. And I'll be talking about a bunch of use cases that make sense for a law firm. They probably make sense for other businesses like consulting firms and investment banks and anywhere where the essence of the interaction between the company and its clients is knowledge, producing knowledge. We figured out about, I don't know, a year or two ago that the best place for us to focus as a business is the business development and marketing space within a law firm. Right. The research departments have a lot of data, but they only have graphical user interface, GUI-based access, so they don't have API access. They have relatively low levels of sophistication, and they don't have that much budget to spend on doing new things. They can swap out, LexisNexis for Westlaw, or one subscription for another subscription. But when it comes to actually building a knowledge graph, they're not the partner to get it done in a law firm. The IT department is often not really the partner either. You have to work with them, but the money and the motivation in a law firm is with the marketing and business development people that's on the hook to help the lawyers win new business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know your talk is how knowledge graphs will help law firms win business and serve clients better. So are you going to provide, is this a technical talk, or are you high level, explaining to folks how you can leverage knowledge graphs in the business development and marketing departments of law firms?
So I think it's going to be a bit of a hybrid. On the one hand, I want to provide some very concrete use cases that if by chance there are law firm people or corporate legal department people in the audience, they'll perhaps, these particular use cases will resonate with them. Of course, there's, there are many other use cases that we can talk about. I'll briefly outline those use cases. One would be opportunity spotting. That means a law firm's effort to spot typically a company that needs legal help. Why? There could be some new regulation coming out. There could be some litigation. There could be a trend that consumers are going to start suing. There might be a class action suit. So there could be something in litigation. There could be some regulatory trend. There could be your client is entering a new country, and you better know about it because they're going to need legal help to enter that new country or to launch a new product. So that's opportunity spotting. Another use case is matching, helping lawyers, and it's not just lawyers, it's lawyers plus the marketing and BD people who support them, helping lawyers write higher value thought leadership. So imagine you're typing a piece of thought leadership. Like it could be long, it could be relatively short. It's like, let's say a client alert. So right now, if you're a lawyer, time is literally money. You don't really want to spend your time writing marketing material, even though your marketing department is, pushing you to do that. If you're gonna finally make the time to write a piece of thought leadership, you had better make it good. Like it needs to be worth reading. And frankly, a lot of this stuff no one reads. Yeah. Interestingly, in the last few weeks, we've created a COVID-19 thought leadership knowledge hub. So we aggregated the thought leadership from 200 plus law firms. So this way, when you're writing a new piece of thought leadership, take the time to see whether someone else has already said exactly what you're going to say. So this is just an illustration of the general case of, with a knowledge graph powered application, you could have someone doing one thing in one part of the interface, and you could programmatically match that to other things that they should be reading in order to write something really good. It could be background information. It could be matching the content to people in your law firm that you should kind of bring into the discussion and help you write it. It could be, all industry background about, the regulations that you're writing about. So the moment, obviously this is not just a knowledge graph thing, it's also a natural language processing thing. The moment the system recognizes the name of a law or the name of a government ministry or the name of a type of visa that you typed, it could show you the relevant stuff right there on the side. So that's another use case. And then the last use case, if we even get to 3, will be staffing projects and cross-selling. So law firms are divided up into practice groups. They're also divided into offices. Remember offices?
Back in the day, I remember
Yes.
those.
So in a global law firm, it's very, with hundreds or thousands of lawyers, it's very, and with new lawyers coming on and leaving, it's very common to not know that there's a lawyer, in your office in New York who is an expert in AI, who has worked on this kind of a deal, and so on, right? So again, with the help of a knowledge graph that makes it, semantically explicit connections between things, you can do much more interesting and useful matching between a project, in the legal domain they call it a matter, but also sometimes a project, and a lawyer who has the right skills, and so on. So that is another sort of application area or use case area. Those are the 3 that we'll focus on. And if the audience wants to, we can also try and talk about the challenges of educating an industry that's new to the knowledge management game, about how do you get them interested and how do you get started.
Awesome. Well, David, thank you so much. I mean, this is very interesting for me. My husband works for a law firm, so I wasn't really aware of how knowledge graphs would be applicable to them. So this is really helpful. I hope people go ahead and check out your session at the Knowledge Graph Conference. I'm going to go ahead and thank you for your time and introduce the next speaker at this point. So thank you.
All the best. Okay.
All right.